Hi everyone, I'm Nawajiha binti Azlan. As your moderator today, we'll be discussing about regulatory challenges with two beautiful panel, which are Miss Amira and Miss Sharifah. So, as we all know, Islamic banking is growing quickly across the world financial center to keep up with the growing number of international transactions that happen every day. So, due to the problem of having both Islamic and conventional bank under the same roof, Islamic banks are having trouble with Sharia regulation in cross-border countries because they have different rules, practice, and laws. So, based on this, today we are going to talk about and share our thoughts on the regulatory challenges that Islamic banks face when they do business around the world. Miss Amira, so as we all know, due to the globalization, the competition between Islamic and conventional bank in cross-border transaction is expanding each day. So, do you believe a unique Sharia authority is required to compete with conventional bank?
Thank you, Wajiha, for the great question. So, based on the current issues and the rapid progression of Islamic finance, I do believe a unique Sharia authority is needed to improve the industry product and services to be compatible with Sharia rules and conventional banking. So, the Sharia Board is the main regulatory council of each Islamic bank and controls the entire banking system based on the Sharia. So each board address a different particular school of thought due to varying sect or we call mazhab across the globe, which is we have mazhab Maliki, mazhab Hambali, Hanafi, and Shafi'i. So unintentionally, kepelbagaian mazhab ini telah membawa kepada kepelbagaian fahaman, maka lahirlah IUFI yang menyediakan sebuah standard syariah kepada seluruh institusi kewangan Islam untuk maintain the syariah standard around the world and need to be followed for each IFI participant and the overall industry. So in Malaysia, each financial institution has its own Sharia committee that evaluates and responsible for decision making on any matters related to Sharia. Hence, the experts will gather several perspectives and opinions based on the Al-Quran, As-Sunnah, Qiyas, Ijma, and other following this before approving whether the product or services is permissible or haram. So let's have a look on IFSA 2013 objective, which is to promote financial stability and compliance with Sharia. IFI itself needs to provide fair, responsible, and professional business conduct, which is, for example, the board of director may provide extensive courses to be attended by its Sharia committee members to enhance their knowledge and capability to know more about the market game and the conventional market product. So bank may follow the advice or ruling from SAC and specify standard on Sharia matters in respect of carrying business, affair or activity by an institution that requires the ascertainment of Islamic law by the SAC. So to sum up, Sharia committee in banking system may eliminate ambiguities in contract used by each Islamic bank for product and services on the market by providing consumers with comprehensive explanation. So as we all know, Malaysia have conventional banking with Islamic window option. So it is really important for Islamic banking institution itself to keep up with the new changes in the market and prove that their product are compatible and be able to widely spread to the consumers and give benefit to the market itself. So that's all from me.
Thank you to Miss Amira for your great sharing. Now let's move to the next issue, which is harmonization of Sharia ruling that will be shared by Miss Sharifah.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jiha. Before we go through this harmonization of Sharia ruling challenge, what does it mean? Harmonizing Sharia regulation involves creating a single authority such as Sharia Board in Islamic finance sector in Malaysia. The Sharia Board will pursue a one-size-fits-all strategy in which its resolution will become applicable to every institution, disregarding regional and national diversity. It will do away with the requirement of Sharia Board at every Islamic financial institution, which will lessen the issue of the shortage of Sharia scholars. Harmonization of Sharia rulings become the major challenge in the operating of Islamic banking activity over the world in the cross-border area. It has encountered difficult with the conventional banking due to the improper standardization of the common product for all schools of thought. There is diversity of opinion as to whether practice or product are Sharia compliant. This means that some product and service may be approved as being Sharia compliant by some Sharia scholar, but not by others. Harmonization is important as it keeps operations smooth. In order to harmonize Sharia ruling, tolerance and openness are necessary. Sharia experts must accept other people's viewpoint in order to agree, even though they may have their own agreement or for supporting or rejecting particular contract. They have things to get talent in negotiation and compromise. However, some well-known Sharia experts seem hesitant to participate in open talk and dialogue. They have strong conviction and unfortunately that tend to be unwilling to consider opposing viewpoint. Thus, it will be difficult to gather just this Sharia scholar. All Sharia experts must shed their own egos and adopt a willingness to admit decision and fatwas instead. So, it can be concluded that the main purpose of harmonization is to develop harmony in the implementation of Islamic banking. The effectiveness of this approach stimulates the growth and development of Islamic banking as evidenced by the tremendous achievement of total banking asset as well as product recognition worldwide. So that's all from me. But Ms. Jiha, can you share your opinion on the development of Islamic capital as regulatory challenge?
Thank you, Ms. Sharifah. So I will share my knowledge about the development of Islamic capital market. So as we all know, in Malaysia, the Islamic capital market has grown steadily and is performing well. So compared to the other Islamic countries, Malaysia has a better infrastructure for providing continuous support for the Malaysian Islamic capital market. So in my research, Al-Habshi in 1994 says that the Islamic capital market works best when there are no interest-based transaction, no unclear transaction, and no sales of share in companies that deals with activities or matters that are against the Islamic law. So basically, the Islamic capital market is very well formed. It benefits borrowers, institutional investors, and improve the stability of Islamic bank by providing them with improved portfolio, liquidity, and risk management tools. Despite its potential for growth, the Islamic capital market poses several regulatory challenges for the international expansion of Islamic banking activities. So, to establish a robust and effective structure for the Islamic capital market, it is very crucial to overcome obstacles such as the host country government responsibility to support the law and regulation that govern the market. So, in other words, the government must ensure that regulations are in place to facilitate the smooth functioning of the Islamic capital market. This can be challenging, and but it is very essential to create a stable investment environment and foster growth in the sector. Ijarah, which is commonly known as leasing, is a fundamental transaction. However, in some cases where the government or a related public sector entity owns the operating asset, there are maybe a restriction and regulation preventing them from pledging or leasing the asset required to structure the ijarah transaction. So such limitation may differ across jurisdiction and countries. Last but not least, a lot of attention need to be given to things like product innovation, infrastructure facilities, policy reward, human capital development, liberalization, and the regulatory framework. So the regulatory body, which and market participants need to work together to ensure that Malaysia can become an international hub for the Islamic capital market. So that's all from us. Thank you.